Whoa. All right. Mind blown. You guys all watched my video yesterday and you heard my argument on what I believe should be banned. I will tell you I was right, but I was also very wrong on on some cards. We're going to get into the bannings in just a moment, but I want to show you the results from the event. This was a major event. A lot of professionals, a lot of very experienced top tier players participate in this event. There is historic and standard. And yesterday I was reporting while it was still going on. Here's the standard top 8 finishes. There was, I think, maybe like 20 players still going at it. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time yesterday, and now today, it's Monday, about noon Eastern Standard Time. So Omnith Ramp, Austin, finished number 1. No surprise. Omnith Ramp number 2, Omnith Ramp number 3, Omnith Ramp number 4, and 6. Whoa. Kudos to Autumn for running Gruul Aggro, coming in 5th, and also to Seth Manfield. Actually like his play style. And I like Emma Handy. The deck this person ran was neat also. We're going to inspect these right meow, but man. Okay, so I said yesterday I was wrong about quite a few things. Fabled Passage, I was like, they're only running 3 copies. No, they're running another one. Austin's running a 4th one in the sideboard. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. I do apologize, guys. And then not only that, but also with, where is it? Escape to the Wilds. There is another copy of Escape to the Wilds in the sideboard. I said, cards that would be banned, we need to get rid of Omnith Locus of Creation. 100 billion%. Cards that I didn't even consider. I think I also mentioned Lotus Cobra could be banned as well, but I don't think that would fix the problem. They tore apart adventure decks. Omnith Ramp adventure decks, to be precise. Which you're going to see in a minute here. Bone Crusher Giant, Brazen Borrower, Edgewell Innkeeper, Fae of Wishes. Out of all these cards in this build, what do you think was banned? What do you think got the old ban hammer? For Beanstalk Giant, you'll see a lot of very similar builds, 4 Beanstalk Giant, 4 Bone Crusher Giant, 2 of the Borrowers, 4 Keepers, 4 Fae of Wishes. You can go digging over here. Always 4 Omnith. That's one thing you will always notice is consistent. Here's a 3rd place finish. This is, by the way, this is MTG Top 8. Great source of information if you want to be in touch with what decks are competitive at the time and also what major events are going on in any given format. Wonderful source of information. I'm blown away still. Like I'm kind of like out of breath just even doing this. But yeah, there's Fae Wishes, 4 Brazen Borrowers in this one. Omnith again. There's a Kenrith, a little mix up there. Escape to the Wilds, 3, and the sideboard, of course. Gruul Aggro. I'm gonna go over this a little more quicker here. I'm sorry, guys. I just want to show you everything that has occurred. This one was a little different, but still running the package. Edgewell Innkeeper. Bone Crusher Giant, the whole adventure thing. Not over the top, though. Autumn, she didn't go over the top. I actually met Autumn once. Well, we were at the same event. Can't say I met her. She's a little more famous than I. Just a little bit. I don't even consider myself famous, but she's like out there famous. Very competitive person for sure. So Primal Might, that was sweet. Stonecoat Serpent. This is kind of like a similar build that I ran, minus the whole adventure package, but it's like you got to run the adventure package for all the crazy card draw. That's the way to go. And Wizards acknowledged all this, and we're going to get to it just one moment. Here's the 6th place finish. Again, there's always 4 copies of Omnith. I said a few things. We could get rid of Omnith. We need to get rid of Omnith. That's the big bad wolf. That's the redheaded stepchild right there that needs to go. I said Escape to the Wilds doesn't need to go. Same with the other card that's very similar to it. It's the 7-drop. I can't even think of the name of it, but we'll get to it in a minute. Here's UB Control, which was a deck we all knew would eventually, top 8. Even as cards were being spoiled, we're like, wow, it's getting there. But this is probably going to take over, along with Gruul Aggro. I could see really shining here, and of course, Rogues. Rogues are going to dominate moving forward as well. They've already seemed pretty dominating, but after the bans, different story. Here's the final Gruul Aggro one. Okay, so what are we doing in Historic? Let's take a look at that. What are we doing in Historic? Omnith Ramp, Sultai Control, Omnith Ramp, Jun's Sacrifice. Just a quick little idea of what people are running these builds for. Fabled Passage in the main. Does not look like any Evolving Wilds. Well, I don't know how you made it number 1 without running that. But hats off to you, Austin. It looks like this was one of those kind of events where players had their standard build and they also had their historic build, and they were kind of like bouncing back and forth between the two, and points accumulated accordingly. Ultimatum, Genesis Ultimatum, that's one of the cards. I said, nope, Genesis Ultimatum and Escape to the Wild is not going to get banned. If you want to really cure it, get rid of the Cultivate, get rid of... I did say Escape to the Wild and Genesis Ultimatum, though, are what makes this deck tick. If you take these cards out, Ultimatum and Escape to the Wilds, the deck kind of falls apart because it doesn't have that real big, huge push, mid-late game. But man, foot and mouth, you'll see. Sultai Control came in third. Another Sultai Control, another Omnith by Patrick. Jun's Sacrifice, Seth. I actually enjoy Seth and his gameplay. Very interesting fellow to watch. Yeah, nice little build here. And Omnith Ramp Emma at the bottom here. So what occurred with the bannings? 3 cards got banned. Let's pull those cards up right now. Boom. Wow. Escape to the Wilds got the ban hammer. Lucky Clover got the ban hammer, and so did Omnith Locus of Creation. Omnith was a given, okay? I think 90% of you agreed with that. But also in the comments from yesterday's video, I did hear a lot of you saying, take out Lucky Clover. And you take that out, you're going to cripple it, And I also made the argument with Escape to the Wilds, but I misjudged. I didn't look at the decks and see the extra copy of Escape to the Wilds in the sideboard. Otherwise, I would have been like, well, that's a problem child too, as I did mention, but I didn't think it was going to get banned, honestly. But you take out these 3 cards right here, Adventure has no chance moving forward. It's just done. Adventure build, I can't say completely done, but Adventure builds, no, they're done. You take out Lucky Clover, Adventure's dead. This is good, though, because we need to see different decks in Standard. We need to make it fun, not so bland, as I mentioned the other day. It gets really boring when you have the same few cards, the same few decks. Here's banned in Historic. Was not aware of this. Teferi Time Raveler. Is that even a surprise? Wasn't there some of these already banned? Was Wilderness Reclamation already banned? No, I don't know. It's banned now, no matter what. Sometimes they put them on like this little list, like suspended, and then they go into banned. But this is just completely done for. Teferi, man, Teferi's overpowering, man. He's such a busted card, They even banned him in Brawl. Getting bans all over the place, Teferi. What have you done? Just an amazing, not only draw engine, but allowing you to play stuff on your opponent's turn at sorcery speed, or, sorceries at instant speed on your opponent's turn. The bouncing stuff. Basically, Teferi just bought you like a turn, sometimes 2, And if he stays on the board, he gets out of control. Wilderness Reclamation, just a cheap way. Very, very, it's shady. Okay, it really is. Just anything that just basically is free. Once you put this down, if you're running Flash, if you're running Instance, if you're running Teferi, which can make your sorceries instant on your opponent's turn, stuff like that, Wilderness Reclamation is just insane. Because you're untapping all your lands. And with multiple copies, you can just tap, a roo, untap, tap, 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 tap. You know, you can just get crazy amounts of mana off of Wilderness Reclamation. I'm glad it's gone. I will say that right now. I'm glad Wilderness Reclamation is gone. I can rejoice and sleep happily. Teferi, yeah, you're annoying. I don't know if you needed to be banned, but if you're seeing too much play, you know, in builds, then yeah, it's time to go. So I'm glad they moved on from these cards. I feel like it was already banned, though. Okay, so here's Wizard saying, Joey Moss, here you go. You get 4 copies of this, 4 copies of that, 4 copies of that. Wow. Where do we go from here? I cannot believe some of the cards that were banned, but I think they had to be. They were just completely dominating Standard. They really, really were, man. I was messing around last night with some builds, but yeah, this is, wait till you see the updated version of this. I'm going to be playing it later today. This thing is insane. As far as Austin's build goes, very, very powerful deck, and it had to go. Stuff gets boring. It's that simple. I don't want to be talking in circles. I'm going to spare you guys too much jibber jabber here at the end. We need to have a wide range of decks. I think that makes for a very fun and a much more competitive Standard. Seeing 66% of the decks running the same card in the top 30 in a very competitive tournament, that's stupid. Knock it off. Yeah, of course, Fabled Passage, Evolving Wilds. I'm not going to ban something like Fabled Passage. And the reason being because, well, that would ruin other multicolor decks, as some of you said. I'm just blown away. I'm still in shock. I do apologize. Usually, I'm a little more under control and get my point across a little better. But this time, I'm in shock. 3 cards banned. It's time to mix up Standard. That's cool. But what's going to happen now? Rogues are going to dominate. Gruul is going to dominate. I think we might even see some more fun with Landfall. One of the builds I made a while ago. Well, this is Brawl, though. But there's a... Which one was it? It's Wanata. That's another problem. Ugh. So is it going to be Wanata and Rogues and Gruul? Possibly. Maybe. Here's something fun I put together. Scourge Eruption. Total another topic, but I'm happy for the bans because I like to play with different decks, and I hate, you know, like, it's hard to brew when the meta's figured out and everyone's running, all the pros are running the same deck. It's just impossible, man, to try anything different. But, you know, here's a fun little build where I'm running Scourge of the Skyclaves. I tested it out quite a few times, did not have that much success, but now I'm excited to go back and play this deck because I think it might be able to compete, you know, now that a bunch of stuff's gone. But watch out. Control decks are going to run rampant. We're going to see that along with the Rogues and the Gruul aggro. But Adventure is gone. Adventure's done. I don't care what you say. You take out Clover, that's the heart and soul of Adventure right there. You know, that and the Innkeeper, they're done. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a real treat. Omnith, I bid you adieu. Thank you. Get out of here. Wow. And the other cards, sure, shut them down because we were all sick of seeing them anyway. On to a new fun Standard. If you're excited about that as much as I am, definitely punch that like button. Means a lot. And it goes to show Wizards actually did something. They stepped up on a major level to shut these builds down. So, hats off to Wizards. I will say that. Do you guys agree with these bans? Do you disagree with the bans? I'd love to know. On a last note, you're going to see gameplay with this later. I revamped this build in Historic. I just ran through it. I don't have all the time in the world. I do have kids. I don't focus so much on arena gameplay. There's other channels out there who do. That's what they specialize in. Here, I'm like everything MTG and the Umbrella. If it's in Magic the Gathering, I do it. From, you know, all the box openings, everything else. So I really don't have time to be too competitive. But I had some fun yesterday. And let me tell you, something in this deck should probably be banned. Why is there only 3 here. This is not correct. I must have made some little subtle change at the very end. Wait till you see this deck just obliterate everything. The video is dropping later on tonight, probably like around 7, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The first one I made, no. Wait till you see, Pact of Negation is a great card in Historic, man. I go from gold all the way into platinum, just like that. I think I lost a total of 2 matches out of, I don't know how many it takes to get there, maybe 16, you know, I don't know how many, 20, you know, 20 wins, whatever it was. I only lost a couple. It was just nuts. Everybody scoops when this build comes out. But this is not the actual build. It's slightly different. You will see. I think I was trying to tweak it at the very end, but the recordings will speak for themselves. Wait till it's just the most busted stuff I've ever seen. All right, I'm done. I feel I'm talking in circles. I apologize, guys. I'm flabbergasted. And Robin Williams, I'm sorry. I said Robert yesterday. That was terrible. Yeah, unbelievable. But anyway, moving along, guys. Wow. Let's have some fun. Let's shake things up in Standard. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Let me know what deck you think is going to be top 8ing. What deck are you going to play now that all these things are banned? Skadoosh.